The number of confirmed coronavirus cases here in San Diego jumps by 1/3 just in the past day. Now at 80 cases countywide, local leaders are ramping up efforts to try to bring the spread of the virus under control. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. These new regulations impact everything from gyms to daycare centers and now limit gatherings to fewer than 10 people. San Diego's mayor also unveiled a massive relief package for local businesses hit hard economically.
News 8's Richard Allen is live in Kearny Mesa tonight with more. Richard?
Well, that's right. From the beginning, local businesses like these had felt the impact of the coronavirus outbreak. And now with these local public health orders, so many more businesses are effective, making the mayor's economic relief package all the more crucial.
We need folks to heed these warnings.
Wednesday, county leaders expanded the public health orders already established to try to curb the spread of coronavirus.
We are asking all San Diego residents to refrain from convening gatherings of 10 or more individuals.
Under the revised orders, all gyms and fitness centers in the county must close, and daycare centers must restrict their children to stable groups of 10 or fewer kids.
Stable means that the same 10 or fewer children are in the same group each day. Children shall not change from one group to another.
By Friday, all casinos will close. Also, outreach to thousands of unsheltered San Diegans continues, as nearly 1,500 hotel and motel rooms are now available for those with coronavirus symptoms who have nowhere else to stay.
It is very important that in San Diego County, we maintain space for individuals who are positive, persons under investigation or who have symptoms who don't have somewhere to go. We want those individuals to have a place to go.
In the meantime, this Ramada Hotel in Kearny Mesa is being used as a Health and Human Services care site to house travelers who were aboard the Grand Princess cruise ship who are positive for the virus but are asymptomatic or mildly symptomatic and do not require hospitalization. Also Wednesday, Mayor Kevin Faulconer announced an ambitious economic relief package for local small businesses who have been hit hard economically by coronavirus.
They are all bearing a tremendous burden as they comply with these orders.
This includes a $4 million fund in grant and 0% loans with one specific goal.
Help businesses stay afloat so they can keep paying their employees.
And also today, Governor Gavin Newsom signed an executive order suspending all standardized testing for California's more than 6 million students, saying, quote, "This time is stressful enough." Marcella?
All right, Richard, thanks. Tonight, the southern border with Mexico remains open, despite President Trump saying today that he will tighten controls at the border. This as the federal government shut down the border with Canada today, now allowing only essential travel and goods. Baja California's health officials are concerned about coronavirus spreading into Mexico. Right now, there are 13 suspected cases in Tijuana. Now, everyone who enters Mexico must undergo a health screening, including a temperature check and questionnaire.
There are now more than 7,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus in the United States. That number is expected to grow as a backlog of tests gets processed. This as millions of Americans are now out of work and global markets are floundering. Natalie Brand has an update from the White House.
President Trump is calling the coronavirus the silent enemy in a pandemic war.
We're going to defeat the invisible enemy.
Today, he invoked emergency powers that would allow his administration to ask American industry to make medical supplies if necessary.
The ayes are 90.
On Capitol Hill, the Senate passed an emergency relief bill that includes free coronavirus testing, as well as paid sick days and family leave. Lawmakers are also working on a $1 trillion rescue package. The Trump administration wants money for the airline and hotel industries, help for small businesses, and direct payments for everyday Americans starting next month.
We are moving rapidly because the situation demands it.
GM, Ford, Chrysler, Toyota announced they're suspending production at their North American factories. And as restaurants begin to close their doors, one Phoenix owner is vowing to help.
We're going to use the food here to try to feed our employees' family.
From a Costco in Los Angeles to a food pantry in Houston to schools around the country, people lined up for food and essentials. On Wall Street, trading halted again to stop a free fall, and the New York Stock Exchange announced it will temporarily close the floor and move to fully electronic trading starting Monday. The president also indicated today the administration is looking into the possibility of a self-swab test and whether that's as effective. Health officials warn the number of cases is about to spike as more tests get processed.
It will be 5 to 6 days worth of tests being run in 24 to 48 hours.
The Navy also says it will deploy 2 hospital ships to make up for a shortage of hospital beds. One will go to hard-hit New York, where officials estimate they have less than half the 110,000 beds they may need. At the White House, Natalie Brand for News 8.
Natalie just mentioned there are 2 Navy hospital ships that will soon be deployed to help strained hospitals. One is going to New York. The second, the USNS Mercy, is coming to the West Coast. We don't have an exact location yet or timetable, but earlier today, Pentagon officials said they hope to have the Mercy ready to go in days, not weeks.
The impact of the coronavirus is hitting the U.S. Census. Field crews were scheduled to hit the streets, but that has been suspended until at least April 1st. Some speculate the pandemic will skew census numbers, impacting federal support in our community. News 8's Abby Alford is live in Claremont with more on how the census is changing its outreach to make sure everyone is counted. Abby?
Marcella, the U.S. Census is critical to family stability programs like providing and funding for school lunches. The U.S. Census Bureau says that San Diego County and also Imperial counties are one of the hardest to count. And now, with the coronavirus, the U.S. Census Bureau and local partners have to change their outreach. Amidst the coronavirus pandemic, there's one very important matter that you've received in the mail, probably 2 reminders by now, the 2020 U.S. Census.
It's really easy for the census to take a back seat.
But Greg Angel, the executive director for Interfaith Community Services, says it also helps bring in federal resources such as grants for nonprofits like his.
Whether you're thinking about homelessness, hunger, unemployment.
The census allocates congressional seats, but it's also important dollars for your community.
Health services, funding for roads, transportation, health clinics, hospitals.
The Advancement Project says up to 783,000 people living in San Diego and Imperial counties are at risk for not being counted. Latino and low-income communities are hard to count.
It takes a community to count a community.
And on Wednesday, U.S. Census field crews were suspended to avoid any face-to-face contact to protect public health.
What we're doing is having to be a little bit more creative, leveraging social media, leveraging digital marketing.
Count Me 2020 outreach partners such as the United Way says they'll be having more virtual town halls, Facebook Lives, and they're moving field crews to phone banks.
The census is still here. We still have to ensure that we get that complete and accurate count.
And for the first time this year that you can fill your U.S. Census online at 2020census.gov.
From the safety of your couch, as people are hunkering down.
The U.S. Census says it doesn't ask your citizenship. Your answers are protective. This is about making sure that everyone counts.
Everybody does count, and we're all in this together.
As of today, the U.S. Census Bureau says that 11 million households have completed their forms. On Friday, you'll be able to track how well your county is responding comparing to the nation. We'll have that link as well as the census form and resources on our website at CBS8.com. Click on the hot button. Marcella?
All right, Abby, thank you. With a state of emergency declared here in California, law enforcement is cracking down on price gouging. Deputies from the Fallbrook Sheriff Substation conducted a sting on several websites and apps. They identified a number of people selling hygiene products, cleaning supplies, and personal protective equipment at exorbitant prices. Posing as customers, they arranged to meet some of these individuals in person and arrested them for being in violation of the California Penal Code, which prohibits excessive price increases during a declared emergency. As San Diegans avoid the office as much as they can and transition to working at home, they are using a lot more electricity, and that means higher bills will be coming. SDG&E has agreed to suspend service disconnections for non-payment during the coronavirus crisis. We asked a representative for the utility if they plan on lowering rates. Unfortunately, that answer is no.
Electric rates in California are regulated by the California Public Utilities Commission. We do not have the authority to change rates.
There are some steps you can take to avoid a higher bill, like using less during the peak hours of 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. The utility also tells News 8 they are getting reports of scammers trying to take advantage of customers. So if you do get a call from someone claiming to represent the utility, hang up and make your own call to see if it's something that was instigated by them.
Costco wants to make shopping during the coronavirus crisis easier for the most vulnerable among us. It's announcing new special hours for seniors over 60 and people with physical disabilities. From 8 to 9 in the morning, Monday through Friday, only shoppers who meet that criteria will be allowed inside to shop. Making a trip to the grocery store has become increasingly difficult for all of us, especially our senior citizens and those with disabilities. The coronavirus has stopped San Diegans right in our tracks. Businesses are closed, jobs are being lost, lives are on hold. Let's all join together to help our neighbors that are impacted the worst by this ongoing health crisis. Join News 8, the San Diego Foundation, and our partners. Please give to the San Diego COVID-19 Response Fund. Help provide assistance with food security, rent, utility bills, and income replacement, gap funding, and no-interest business and community loans. 100% of the donations will go to organizations helping San Diegans impacted by COVID-19. You can go to our website on your screen, actually the website on your screen, or to the News 8 app to donate. We've also put a link up on the hot button at cbs8.com.
And we're hearing so many stories of people giving generously, those who can, to help those who can't to get through these critical weeks.
It's going to take a huge effort, government, private sector, people giving, to get all of us through this, because we're just entering it, just starting.
Right? You said just day 3 of this work week, which many weeks ahead.
Exactly. No idea how long this is going to be.